Hello everyone, welcome to today's news starter. Before getting into the topics of the day, let me give you a basic information which can help you in your prelims examination. It is about the Rohingya Muslims. Rohingyas are Muslim minorities who are inhabitants of Rakhine states of Myanmar. Rakhine state of Myanmar is in the northern part of Myanmar, and there are certain minority communities which are called as Rohingya minorities. So the problems faced by Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar is that recently, in the last few years, the Muslim minorities of Myanmar have been subjected to severe persecution by the majority communities and by the present regime which is ruling Myanmar also. The problem is these minorities, because of serious persecution, they run as migrants into other countries, mostly Bangladesh and India. So more than 20,000 Rohingyas are living in India, and they are living as refugees. So Indian government have to spend a lot of money to provide them the basic livelihood and everything. Apart from that, it is a very big humanitarian issue. From the UPSC examination point of view, what you need to know is about the map of Myanmar, about the bordering states of Myanmar and India. Have a look at it, go through that very well. For 2024 examination, it can become very important. So let's get into the topics of the day. To include malaria vaccine in routine immunization programs for children. Whenever we look about immunization, we always think that India is better in immunization. In the recent times, we have been performing very well, so we tend to go with India as the answer. But then, for this particular question, Cameroon is the answer. So, get to know about it. Remember that Cameroon is the country which is giving malaria vaccination in their routine immunization program. India, France joint surveillance. So recently, the French president was there in India for the Republic Day event, and we ended up signing a lot of agreements with France, especially defense agreements. So one of the most important of this is India-France joint surveillance. You all know that India's influence in the Indian Ocean is very high, and we have been trying to establish better surveillance and better security measures in the Indian Ocean. One of the important countries who help us in this perspective is France because of French Reunion Island. If you look at the map, you need to know where exactly this French Reunion Island is located. It is also called as French La Reunion. It is located here. So Africa is there. In the eastern side of Africa, we have Madagascar. Madagascar is an island which belong to Africa. So to the eastern part of Madagascar, we have the French Reunion Island. French Reunion Island. So the location of French Reunion is very important for prelims examination. Make sure you go through this map very well. So recently, what happened? India and France have agreed to do joint surveillance. We have told that we will intensify the cooperation in Southwest Indian Ocean. And we also agreed to consider a distinct joint trilateral exercise. At present, India is having trilateral exercise with USA and Russia. India have military exercise. India have army exercise, navy exercise, and air force exercise separately with France, but we do not have a trilateral exercise. Trilateral exercise is when all the three divisions of the military come together and perform an exercise. At present, we have a trilateral exercise with two countries. One is with Russia. The name of the exercise is Surya Kiran. Another one with USA. The name of the exercise is Tiger Triumph. Remember it very well. Very important facts for your prelims examination. Ladakh territorial control. So this is a very hot topic, which is creating a lot of controversies, a lot of headlines among Ladakhi population. You know that in 2019, what the government did, it created two union territories. One is Jammu and Kashmir and second one Ladakh. So the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act was passed in 2019, which resulted in two union territories, one Jammu and Kashmir and another one Ladakh. So if you look at the entire map of Jammu and Kashmir, you can see that Jammu and Kashmir is located here, and to the east of it we have Ladakh, but to the northwest of Ladakh, Gilgit-Baltistan is there. But the problem is this Gilgit-Baltistan at present is not under the control of India. It has been illegally occupied by Kashmir, which we call it as Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which is Gilgit-Baltistan. So the Ladakhi population has been claiming to include Gilgit-Baltistan in Ladakh. They want Gilgit-Baltistan to be a part of Ladakh. If you know this fact, uh, we do provide certain legislative assembly numbers. We reserve certain legislative assembly numbers for Gilgit-Baltistan also in Jammu and Kashmir legislature. The Ladakhi people have been asking, instead of merging them with Jammu and Kashmir, merge them with Ladakh, because they say that territorially it will be easier to manage if Gilgit-Baltistan and Ladakh are together. So the demand for extending territorial control of Ladakh up to Gilgit-Baltistan, which is the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, has been going on. Ladakh does not have a legislature, but Jammu and Kashmir have a legislature. This point has to be remembered very well. So how is Ladakh getting managed? Ladakh is administered with two kind of hill councils. One is Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, which comes under Kargil, and Ladakh Autonomous Skill Development Council, which comes under Leh. So Leh and Kargil, these two are the most important points. Kargil is located closer to Jammu and Kashmir, and Leh to the eastern part of Ladakh. So these two autonomous hill development councils are managing Ladakh. There is no separate legislature. So there is also a demand to include Ladakh under sixth schedule. Sixth schedule in Article 371 of the Constitution of India. Sixth schedule states are states such as Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, etc., where more uh, uh, more administrative control is provided to the local population. So that means the control of the state government will not be high. It will be local population who will have autonomous districts, and this autonomous districts will have separate autonomous councils, and these autonomous councils will be managing. So we provided these things because we wanted to provide some autonomy to the tribal population. So sixth schedule is called as tribal areas. So the population of Ladakh have been asking that in future, when you are going to give us statehood, try to include us in sixth schedule. Prior to 1947, Ladakh district also comprised Gilgit-Baltistan area. That's the reason they are asking it for now also. There is a demand for reservation of seat for Gilgit-Baltistan once the legislature is granted. So these are all the basic points which you need to know. It can be asked in prelims as well as mains also. This particular topic is extremely important for prelims. In prelims examination of UPSC, always they will ask some question about a flora or a fauna. So we need to know about laughing gull because it has been in news recently. Laughing gull is a bird species. Why is it very important? Is because it does not belong to India. It is a migratory bird from North America. But recently, this bird and its population were found in Chitteri estuary, which is located in the Kasargod district of Kerala. So it is a very unique because the calling of this laughing gull will be in the form of a laughter. So when you listen to it, you will feel like someone is laughing. So the basic physical features of laughing gull is that it will have a dark upper part, black legs, long drooping bill will be there, and then a dark smudge on the back of the head. Physical features are not much important. Basic things which you need to know about this bird is that it belongs to North America. It was found in Kasargod district of Kerala, and the estuary in which it was found was Chitteri estuary, and its IUCN status is of least concern because its population is not declining. Project P75I is very important for both prelims and mains. It is India's most significant and most uh, perceived naval project. Project P75I is about submarines. So India is trying to build a very good submarine armory. India had historically been not good when it comes to submarine warfare. So earlier in the 1990s, we started a project called as Project 75. Project 75's idea was to build a good number of submarines so that we will have an advantage in the marine warfare. But it did not reap good benefits. At present, P75 have six Scorpion class submarines which we got from France. But Indian government want to promote another project called as Project P75I. I here means India. So P75I is to build uh, a set of submarines which will have diesel electric engines, air independent propulsion system. So the advantage of this kind of submarines, which will have diesel as well as electric engine and then air independent propulsion system, is that they can remain inside the water for around 2 weeks. In case of electrical electrical submarine, the problem is every 48 hours they have to come up. So this is the problem with P75I project. We will build submarines which do not have to come up regularly and they can remain inside the water for around 2 weeks, which will give very good strategic advantage for us. So what is this? Air independent propulsion technology. It can remain submerged for up to 2 weeks. Defense procurement policy of 2016 is very important when it comes to the mains examination of UPSC under GS3. So the major point about defense procurement policy is strategic partnership. So Indian government have come up with a new method which is called a strategic partnership, in which if we are going to get a technology from a foreign country, that country should get into collaboration with a Indian company and they will manufacture this equipment jointly, where there will be transfer of technology. That means the technology with which this particular vehicle or arms or anything is built, that technology has to be transferred to the local company so that later that local company can build this project whenever they want. So these are basic things which you need to remember. Mains practice question of the day. Explain the provisions of the sixth schedule of Indian Constitution. Sixth schedule talks about tribal area. Four states are there in the northeastern part of the country. You try to study about it. It's very important. And the question is asking you to explain the provisions. You can explain the provisions. And it is asking how does it help in protection of indigenous rights? What are the methods in which it is giving protection? So here autonomy is given to at the autonomous district councils. Autonomous district councils are established in areas where high amount of tribal population is there, and they are going to take the legislative measure. They have certain legislative measures, they have certain executive measures also. The government cannot do anything, whatever they want, it cannot happen. It will be taken by the autonomous district council. Certain powers are there for governor and the president also. Try to study about it and mention it. Mains pointers, new initiatives which have been brought up in the judiciary recently. It was in news, so we need to know. Two important projects are there for prelims as well as mains. It is very important. The first project, the Digital Supreme Court Report. Two important initiatives of the judiciary. One is the Digital Supreme Court Report. Second one, Digital Courts 2.0. The first project, which is Digital Supreme Court Report, is a measure where the judiciary is going to give all the judgments, all the reports of the Supreme Court in an electronic way, everything that started from 1950 until now. It covers around 26,308 cases and it has open access. So anyone who want to access it, they can go and take a look at it. Digital Courts 2.4, 2.0 is another measure in which court records are made available to the judges in the electronic form. So all the court records will be available so that the district courts, judges of the district courts, do not have to check each and every record physically. They can just go to this digital courts 2.0 and they can get the details completely. Here artificial intelligence is used, and then we are using the artificial intelligence to transcribe the speech to text on real time basis. So these are all the basic points which you need to know. So that will be all for today. All the best. Study well. Let's meet tomorrow.